You guys voted for the retro glam palette. I love doing polls on my community tab. It is just so engaging and so fun to see what you guys are interested in. So the most votes went to this palette, which is very interesting. I thought most people had forgotten about this one, but it is a really nice palette. Very versatile, very unique, a little different. Usually I put on some concealer before sitting down here, cover up some imperfections, but today I'm keeping it real. This is what my face looks like without any makeup. And we're just gonna talk. It's Saturday morning. I am so tired. I started a new job and I used to work remote, and this is in person. And so I need some lip gloss. I'll actually use this lip balm. It's really good from Winky Lux, the Muru Muru Butter Lip Mask. So I used to work from home. It was pretty easy. I would drop off my kid, or one of my kids, at the bus stop, which was like a 3-minute drive. And then I would come home, take out the trash, make my coffee, and I would start work. So usually started at 9, and then at 5 I would finish work, or at 12 I would take a break, have a nice lunch, and then at 5 I would finish up my day and go pick her up from after school. And now I work in person 5 times a week, and I leave the house at 7:20 instead of leaving at 8 or no, 8:05. So I leave at 7:20. I take her to morning care at her school. So it's good that they have this program. And then I am at work by 8 o'clock. So then I leave work at 5:30 instead of 5. Not the biggest difference. And I pick her up from after school. So she has a long day, I have a long day, but it's not every day, because there are days that her dad picks her up right after school ends, so she doesn't go to after school. So I'm glad that that happens. That way, you know, she's not having a long day every single day. But I definitely have a long day every single day compared to what my day was like before. So I am tired, but I am so happy. Like, the people at my job, new job, are very nice, very supportive. They want to help me with everything. Like, they're not like, oh, you should already know how to do this, or you figure it out yourself. They are just very willing to help. But I definitely don't want to take advantage of that. So there are things that I'm like, you know what? I'll just try to figure this out as much as I can on my own. But at the same time, I do believe when you're working, you want to find that balance where you're not wasting too much time figuring it out on your own when someone has the answer. So there should be a good balance overall in a company with regards to employee resources, because if someone has the answer, then you want to make sure your work is flowing and there's no stoppages, versus just being like, well, you should just figure it out. But if the resources are tied up doing other things, then I think it's a good skill to have, to be able to figure out how to do things. So I definitely have that skill. So far, interesting change in my life, going from remote to in person. I actually really like it. I like going to work and being around people. The long hours are a harder adjustment. That's not ideal, but it's worth it because of the company that I'm working for, the people that I'm working with so far. I mean, I've only been there a week, and I really like my job as well, the stuff that I'm doing. So all good. I got my coffee for breakfast. I had, what did I have? I had waffle fries from Chick-fil-A. leftover from yesterday. I heated them up in the microwave and I'm like, you know what? It's kind of like baked potatoes. Fries, baked potatoes, breakfast, whatever, same thing. Yeah. And then I had a rice cake with pumpkin seed butter. Pumpkin seed butter is the best butter out there, better than any butter. So with the retro glam palette, I feel like I either got like a green look or this peachy pinky look. But I don't know if I want to do a green look, even though most of this palette is green. Let me think about this a little bit. There's definitely like some muted colors in here too. Like, I don't even know what these colors are. Lucy and Faye. They're very like dirty looking colors. Maybe I'll do something different and use those colors instead of the peaches and the greens. But I could use a little bit of the green. Should I do green or peach in the back? I'm gonna do green. Okay, so I'm gonna take the light green shade called Fringe. Ooh. So there's a lot of stuff that we have that we can talk about today. So new job, going well. And then there was a play date I had, well, not me, but my younger one had a play date on Friday. I had not cleaned the house all week because busy with the job, and then I stayed late at work on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I went to see some old colleagues that had left my previous company, and I had a really good time. Like, they're great people and I want to be friends with them. And they're the type of friends that I know will really motivate me to do well because they do a really good job at their jobs. I've seen that firsthand. And so, you know, when you watch like all the self-development videos and they tell you, oh, it's so important which company you keep, what kind of friends you have, and that was my personal experience. Sitting with them, some things I didn't even understand what they were talking about. These are finance people, so I have an accounting background with that, but I don't know that much about the finance world. But it was really inspiring to see successful people. That makes me want to be more successful. That makes me want to do good things and provide value to whatever company I'm working for. And working in a smaller company, it also is giving me more motivation to do good. And you have more power to do good because you have more visibility to what things are happening and make like more impactful impact. So very, very busy week. And then so it's so funny. I get a message from one of my friends. When I say friends, these are all very new to me. I might have mentioned this before, but I always wanted friends, but I didn't have friends until now. And that's something I was able to do after getting divorced. And so she texts me, she's like, oh, my daughter, she wants to have a play date with you. Can she do that? I'm like, first I was kind of like taken back. I'm like, wait, why is she asking me this today? Usually moms are very like good at planning. Like they'll be like, how about next Friday or next week? When do you have free? And so for a few seconds I was like, wow, this is like out of the blue. But I was happy to do it. And then I find out it wasn't even my friend, it was her daughter pretending to be her. But I mean, eventually, you know, her mom found out and she told me what was happening. And then, but yeah, I mean, I want my daughter to have a social life. So my 9-year-old is autistic and I am worried. I'm like, yes, you want to come to my house? You want to send a kid to my house? Send her. Like, I will never say no to a play date. Like, I was so tired, so exhausted. My house was a mess because I've been busy this week. Like, I had dishes that were 3 to 4 days old. It wasn't a lot because I wasn't home that much, so I was eating like out, but still I had dishes. It was messy. So I came home and I like ate food. Well, I brought Chick-fil-A and I rushed and I cleaned. And then once I cleaned the house and it was reasonable, that's when I 100% confirmed with her, like, yes, you can come over. But I think it was easier for me to clean my house because my house is in a good shape now. Everything has a place. So it's very easy for me to put things away. And because it had been clean a week ago, I only had to clean up 1 week's worth of mess, which wasn't that much. And I have my robot vacuum cleaner, which is always helpful, which I hadn't even run since I started working in an office. So this shade looked way brighter in the pan than it does on the eyes. Okay, so maybe the look from this will be a little muted. I don't know if these shades are gonna show up on me though. These like dirty, like, I really don't know what color they are. Maybe they're like a gray green. Yeah, they're really not gonna show up on my lid. So I think, yeah, I could probably put that in the inner part of the eye, and then I'm gonna have to use some other color. Ooh, there's really no color to create depth except for the dark green and the dark peach reddish looking shade. It would have been nice to have like a dark brown in here. So I guess even though this palette looks like it might be versatile, it actually is, it's limiting with how much you can do because there's literally only 2 shades to create depth. So you do end up creating a green or a peach look. I thought this Faye shade was going to be darker, but it's not. Yep, it's not even like showing up on my eye. All right, so then I'm going to go in with this evergreen shade right here. But I really don't want a very, very green look. So I think I'll keep the greens only on like the outer part of the eye. I did bring some work home, so I'm gonna work today a little bit on the weekend because I want to really impress my boss. I want to do good stuff. I want to start strong and I want to make a good impression. So I don't mind working hard in the beginning, and then once I'm like settled in, then I think I should be able to do all my work in the working hours. I don't think I'm gonna have to work on the weekends, but you never know. And so this video is episode number 5 on my Natasha Denona marathon. So I've done 4 different looks in the prior 4 videos from 4 different Natasha Denona palettes on 4 different topics. And the topic that I was going to choose for today is called social norms, but I think I'm just going to end up talking more about life. So this shade is also not as dark as it looks in the pan, but I think if I keep like building it up or like tapping it in, then I can get a darker shade, but it's not as dark as it looks. So the peach vibrant shade, or that looked vibrant, called Holly, is not as vibrant on the eyes, and the evergreen dark green shade is not as dark as it looks in the pan, which is pretty typical for Natasha Denona palettes. Especially I think like the creamy shades, they end up being less dark on the eye. Okay, let's do, so I wanted to not make this too green, so I am gonna go back into Faye and maybe spray my brush and like put this on my lid. So with my previous company, I was there for 16 years. Like, I can't believe I stayed there for that long. And I think it was just time for me to go. My whole career at my previous company kind of coincided with my marriage. And I think some part of my marriage did have to do with me staying there. You know, knowing my personality and how like adventurous I am and always trying to do new things, it's kind of hard to believe that I stayed there for 16 years. But even though I stayed there for 16 years, I did like 4 different jobs. So I definitely like to do new things. But I think with my new company, because it's a smaller company, there's a lot more flexibility. So I can be in the same role, but be able to do a lot of different things. So I think that's going to keep things more interesting. Well, that's very interesting shade. I need some shimmer. It's looking very dark. So I'm going to go with Oscar right here. And I'm going to put that. Oh, Oscar is not looking that good. It is not looking very reflective. And I mean, this is a pretty old palette, and I would imagine if you guys have it, it's probably pretty old for you. Let me know how this shade Oscar is, because it's not looking like your typical Natasha Denona reflective shimmers. It's looking pretty dull, pretty lackluster. It's almost like a shiny matte shade. Oh, I don't like it. And it's very similar to Faye, the matte shade that I put on. So I guess it's nice. Just like a little sheen. But yeah, not my jam, this shade. Wow, my eye look is looking very, very dull. I'm gonna bring the dark green shade into the lower lash line a little bit. So I guess we're not going to talk about social norms today. We'll just talk about jobs and careers. How is your job if you're working? And if you're working, do you tend to stay in one company for a really long time, or do you move around a lot? There's definitely benefits of staying with one company a long time. You develop all those relationships and it's really wonderful, but for me, it was just time to move on. And not everything needs like a logical explanation, I would say. I think I've become very tuned with myself and I value my intuition. And when it's time to go, it's time to go. I trust myself and I'm out. Oh man, I need some glimmer. How about if I tried this shade in the corner right here called Flutter? Like, that looks really reflective. I don't even know why I'm trying to make it more reflective when, like, I went for those green gray shades. Like, what was I expecting? Okay, this one is definitely more reflective. Very crumply, and I have fallout too. What if I put it all over the inner part of the lid? Make it a little more reflective. And now it's just looking very typical. Alright. Hopefully mascara and eyeshadow saves me. I'm gonna take Fringed the light green shade. Put that in the center of the lid. I mean lower lash line. Just kind of blend it out with the outer part of the lower lash line. Okay. Nothing about this look is looking pretty, but I think after I clean up all this mess and do the other eye, I think it'll be okay. Yeah. I'll be back. So I'm almost done with the look, but one thing I noticed is that that shade that was looking lackluster is actually working out well with a brush, because then I'm able to pick up more of it. It didn't work out well with a finger because I guess it's just not lustrous enough to be spread out, but as I apply with this small detail brush, you can actually see the luster on the lid. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, and it is a really pretty shimmer shade. And I didn't spray my brush or anything, just a small brush so you could pick up enough of the shade. Then it looks really pretty. And I think this look came out the way I wanted it to look. Like, I did not want too much of a green, heavy, minty green look. I wanted something to be a little bit more subtle. And this works out. And the shade is working out really well too. It's called Oscar, yeah. Oscar is the name of the shade. And yeah, it looks really beautiful with the green. Very nice. And after cleaning with the concealer and putting on some mascara, it looks perfect now. I can't believe the mess that it looked like is not there anymore. This is the finished look. So the green is more on the outer eye, and then the rest is like this very interesting, grayish, greenish, mustard mixed shades. There's some very unique colors. So I am a little bit crunched for time, and I did not put foundation on my face. I just put this Winky Lux blush right on my skin, and this is their Cheeky Rose Liquid Blush in the shade Darling. Very easy to apply. They have like a little sponge tip, and they blend right into the skin. And this is what I've been doing this whole week because I don't have time for foundation in the morning. And I just apply the blush right on my skin, and it has a decent wear time. And I used this Smashbox lipstick called First Time. This is a legendary Prime and Plush lipstick, shade First Time, and I just dabbed a little bit. It's actually a very pigmented color, but today I just used like a little dab of it. And that's it. So it was a quick video today. It was nice to talk to you guys about my job. Let me know what your situation is. Are you job free right now, or do you have a job? Have you worked for a long time in the company you work for? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a business owner? I would love to hear what you guys do. Leave me some comments down below, and go to my community tab and put your vote in, because, well, I guess you can't. I'll have to do another poll for the next video, and maybe I'll choose 3 palette for the vote for. I'll take the top 3 from the current poll, and I'll start another poll for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Thank you. Bye.